I've been journaling for over 9 years now, and during these 9 years, I've tried a lot of different methods. And there's one method that honestly helped me the most when it comes to using journaling to completely change your life. The method itself is actually very simple. I came up with it when I realized that I would only reach for my journal when I was feeling down, only when something was bothering me, when I felt sad, or when I had a problem. And at some point, when I was flipping through my journals, I noticed that they were just full of sadness. I don't want to say they were negative, but you know what I mean. It just wasn't a nice space to be in. So I thought about it and realized, just like I somehow got into these situations, I can also get myself out of them. And when I started learning how to take control of my life and take responsibility for myself, that's when I came up with this method. On the left side of the page, I would write down everything that was weighing on me. I would pour out my feelings. If I didn't know exactly how I was feeling, I would just describe what was happening in my body, where I felt tension, maybe a sharp pain, what the situation was, who was involved, what exactly happened, how it happened, anything. I would write down everything I felt and thought, and if I didn't know what I was thinking, I would literally write, I don't know what I'm thinking. If I couldn't form full sentences, I would just write words. Literally anything. The idea is just to empty your heart onto the paper. No filter, no judgment, nothing. You just let it all out. And after that, you try to calm yourself down. It really helps if you do some deep breathing, just slowly breathing in and out, letting everything go. I always imagined it like everything inside me was flowing out through my hand and my pen, like a magical pen, and then it was out. I do think it's beautiful to have someone to talk to, but when you have your thoughts on paper, you can actually see them. You can sort them out and really understand what you're feeling and what you're not, and that helps a lot. Sometimes you just can't tell someone everything that's weighing on your heart, and that's why it's just you and the paper, no one else, and no one there to judge you. And also try to break the habit of writing like someone else is going to read it, or like you have to impress someone. Forget all of that. This is just for you. Once you've written everything out and you feel yourself starting to calm down, maybe you're breathing more deeply, maybe you feel like crying, maybe you're angry, just let it all happen. It's okay. This is a safe place for your emotions to exist. When you've calmed down, or even while you're still writing, sometimes you'll notice moments where you suddenly think, hey, actually, that wasn't so bad. Or maybe I could have handled that differently. Whenever those thoughts come up, write them on the right side of the page. Usually these new perspectives pop up either during the process or even days later. You don't have to fill up the right side immediately or come up with solutions right away. Sometimes it takes a few days for clarity to arrive. But when it does, when you have a new idea or a clearer way of seeing the situation you were struggling with, you write that down on the right side. On the right side, you can also write down new beliefs you want to adopt about the situation or new perspectives you've gained. Maybe now that you're calmer, you realize you were seeing things through the lens of anger or sadness, and now you can think more clearly. New ideas, solutions, anything that helps you. This side is where you show up for yourself. And sometimes you might find that you don't need to write anything more because you already feel so much better just by having written it all out, and that's perfectly okay. I really believe that no matter how powerless we might feel, one thing no one can ever take away from us is the power over our own thoughts. No matter what happens in life, we get to decide how we think about it. And that's why this side is so important. It's where you build solutions for yourself, where you're there for yourself. I also truly believe that if we listen closely to ourselves, if we really look inward with a little clarity, we already have all the answers we need inside of us. Sometimes you might also come across something you read or heard that helps you with your situation. You can write that down here too. Whatever it is, it belongs on this side. So, in this method, you're giving yourself two huge gifts. First, you're letting yourself fully feel your emotions because we are human and emotions need to be expressed. And second, you're taking responsibility for yourself. You're saying, I trust myself, I know what's good for me, and I'm here for me. And just to be clear, that doesn't mean you shouldn't reach out for help if you need it. Please don't misunderstand that. If you have a therapist, for example, and they help you find a perspective that supports you through your trauma or whatever you're going through, you can absolutely write that down here too. This is simply about also being there for yourself. And that's how you use both sides. On the left side, you let your emotions out. On the right side, you start to rebuild, you create new beliefs, you question things, you gain new clarity. At the front of the journal, I also included some prompts that can help you. Prompts that help you get your emotions out, but also prompts that help you find new solutions. One thing I noticed through this process is that in many situations I had made things so much bigger in my head than they actually were, and I had to be honest with myself about that. It was a little embarrassing, but I realized I had overreacted so many times. And realizing that helped me think more clearly when something similar happened again. And often, while writing, I notice how incredibly grateful I actually am for so many things that have happened in my life, even the hard ones. Sometimes I write those feelings of gratitude at the bottom of the page too. I really hope this method helps you. It helped me so much that I even created a journal about it called Inner Mastery. I hope it helps you too. You can also check off the situation when you feel like it's truly resolved. But you don't have to, because sometimes new things come up even months later. If that happens, you can just come back and add them. And if you feel like there's not enough space, you can keep writing. Sometimes I would fill pages just with my emotions and then just have one short, clear sentence on the right side that sort of resolved it all. There are so many journaling methods that are really helpful, but this is truly the one that helped me the most. And every time I reach for this journal, I know that no matter what I'm going through, I will get through it. Because if I've made it through before, I'll make it through now, and later too, and again and again and again, and so will you. I thought very deeply about this method because it's so close to real life. Sometimes things happen to us and we don't know how to respond, and we trap those emotions inside ourselves. Those emotions later manifest into illnesses and bigger problems because we don't allow ourselves to really feel them. We think we have to stay strong, but we've also misunderstood what it means to be strong, thinking that strength means holding everything in. That's why having a space where you can just pour it all out is truly magical. It helps us, and it will help others too, because when we feel good, we can also show up for other people. And as I said, sometimes things happen and we just don't know what to do in that moment. And later, we realize how important it was that those things happened, even if they felt really hard at the time. They all lead us to moments that we'll be grateful for, maybe not right away, but eventually. And that's why it's so beautiful to look back and see both the good and the bad moments gathered in one place. To really see that whatever happens, it happens at the right time, for a reason, even if we can't see it yet.